competition event. Let me introduce myself. My name is Laura Torres, and I'm fortunate to have developed my career in this happiness industry, which is the tourism sector, gaining knowledge and experience in different companies like airlines, hotel chains, agencies, airports, and in this current moment, I'm working with technologies helping the tourism companies. But let me speak about the current situation. As we know, tourism has become the main economic activity for many islands around the world, creating much-needed job opportunities and bringing an important income and foreign exchange earnings. Their special geographical situation and immense natural and cultural richness make the islands unique for visitors. But at the same time, they confront several challenges and vulnerabilities exacerbated by the impacts and effects of the pandemic COVID-19. Therefore, investing in sustainable tourism on islands is the only way to ensure that the sector continues advancing socioeconomic welfare while protecting the fragile ecosystems. Today, we will hear from private and public sector representatives that will paint us a better picture of the challenges and opportunities of island destination on a global and local level, and in which ways they can work together to overcome the obstacles these destinations are facing. What better place to discuss this all than an island like Gran Canaria? In between the sessions, 10 entrepreneurs will pitch the solutions they have developed for islands destinations and how they contribute to this unique destination sustainability and digital transformation. Without further ado, I would like to present our host of today, Mr. Raúl García Brink, Technical Coordinator of Economic Development, Energy, Sovereignty, Climate and Knowledge, Cabildo de Gran Canaria. Let's give him a warm welcome.
Buenos días. Good morning to everyone. I will read my speech in Spanish. I will try to do it slowly, and I hope that you can understand me. Muy buenos días a todos. Y bueno, como acabo de decir en inglés, pues bueno, voy a leerlo con tranquilidad para ver si también me pueden entender las personas que no hablan español. Voy a intentar por lo menos ir lo más despacio posible. Bueno, muy buenos días a todos. La transformación digital está cambiando la forma en que llevamos nuestras vidas y está impactando a nuestra sociedad y negocios de todas las maneras posibles. El sector del turismo es una de las industrias más grandes del mundo y posiblemente haya sido la primera, ¿no?, en adoptar nuevas tecnologías a gran escala, especialmente al permitir la reserva de viajes en línea. A medida que avanzamos hacia la cuarta revolución industrial, la industria 4.0, nos encontramos con una nueva era en la que las tecnologías existentes se combinan con nuevas innovaciones emergentes como el IoT, el Internet de las Cosas, la inteligencia artificial, el 5G y la robótica, para aumentar la eficiencia y la productividad, aunque yo, como responsable de cambio climático, me planteo si hoy en día podemos hablar de la eficiencia y de la productividad como los únicos elementos que deben acompañar el desarrollo de un área económica. Yo apostaría por lo menos por debatir hoy en día. Yo creo que hace falta un debate importante sobre cuál es la función de la eficiencia y cuál debe ser su relación con la resiliencia, que son dos conceptos que no casan muy bien y que creo que Además, creo que las nuevas tecnologías pueden ayudar también a superar esa contradicción, ¿no? Al ser uno de los primeros sectores que se han digitalizado, la industria del turismo debe innovar para aprovechar estas nuevas tendencias tecnológicas emergentes y brindar nuevas oportunidades de crecimiento comercial para la industria. Esta industria del turismo ha sido una, como decía antes, de las primeras en adoptar las tecnologías digitales, utilizándolas para mejorar el servicio al cliente en diferentes ámbitos, como el alojamiento, el transporte, los alimentos y bebidas, las atracciones. Lo estamos viendo incluso con algunas de las empresas, ¿no?, que están acompañándonos en DigiON. Al recopilar además datos en tiempo real, ayuda a mejorar significativamente la experiencia del usuario. Por eso nos llena de satisfacción y orgullo que DigiON Canarias acoja la competición de startups de la Organización Mundial del Turismo para destinos insulares. Una oportunidad única para conocer startups internacionales y poner en valor de forma conjunta el importante papel que tiene la isla para el desarrollo del sector digital. Se ha conseguido que Canarias sea sede por primera vez de una competición de startups de la OMT, consiguiendo centrar además la temática en destinos insulares. La OMT ha diseñado ad hoc esta competición para su celebración en Gran Canaria, una competición mundial de startups para buscar modelos de negocio más sostenibles que ofrezcan respuestas y soluciones inteligentes a los retos a los que se enfrentan los destinos insulares y que ha contado con un total de 110 candidaturas, siendo 7 de ellas además Canarias. Infecar y la OMT unen sus fuerzas en esta competición de startups para encontrar los modelos de negocio más sostenibles, innovadores y disruptivos que den respuesta y soluciones inteligentes a los complejos retos a los que se enfrentan los destinos insulares. Las startups ganadoras, que tendrán la oportunidad de convertirse en miembros de la red de innovación de la OMT, han podido disfrutar de diversas mentorías y masterclass en el marco de DigiON, de la mano de mentores y socios de primer nivel, obteniendo apoyo personalizado de dichas empresas. Este enfoque se alinea perfectamente con las políticas que defiende el equipo de gobierno del Cabildo de Gran Canaria. El modelo de coisla que defendemos pone en valor una visión sostenible, circular y digital del turismo, y por eso estamos convencidos de que el uso de soluciones innovadoras e inteligentes promueve la ecoinnovación al contribuir a la mitigación y adaptación al cambio climático y a la creación de un buen también entorno de vida. El desarrollo equilibrado y sostenible del turismo contribuye a que tenga la menor huella ecológica posible. Por ello, esta alianza con la OMT, a la que me gustaría agradecerle su inestimable colaboración, me parece un camino interesante no solo para poner a disposición del mercado soluciones inteligentes y sostenibles, sino también una oportunidad para atraer startups a Gran Canaria y, por lo tanto, también quisiera agradecer el interés de los participantes por desarrollar soluciones innovadoras dentro del sector turístico. Así que nada más, espero que el resultado de la jornada de hoy sea el que todos esperamos y también desearle mucha suerte a todas las startups que al final han llegado a esta final. Muchísimas gracias.
Thank you very much, Raúl. Now I would like to introduce to you Mrs. Isabel María Oliver Sagreras. She is Office of the Secretary General, United Nations World Tourism Organization. Isabel, welcome on stage.
Muchas gracias. Buenos días a todos. Es un placer estar aquí hoy con todos ustedes con motivo de esta final de startups de destinos turísticos insulares que por fin ha alcanzado su meta después de las vicisitudes que todos hemos pasado. Les hablo en nombre de la OMT, Organización Mundial del Turismo, que es la organización especializada de la ONU en turismo responsable, sostenible y de calidad. Y quiero transmitirles un afectuoso saludo de nuestro secretario general, Zura Pololikashvili, que desgraciadamente hoy no ha podido acompañarnos. Asimismo, quiero agradecer sinceramente al Cabildo de Gran Canaria y a Infecar su implicación, su apoyo en este proyecto tan interesante para nuestra organización y ha sido un auténtico placer trabajar con todos ustedes. Y, como no, quiero dar la bienvenida a los 10 finalistas de los 110. Yo creo que es un dato muy interesante, 110 proyectos presentados a este certamen, a este concurso. Yo quiero dar hoy la bienvenida a estos 10 que han presentado sus proyectos y que han conseguido llegar hasta este final, pero también a los 110, a todos, porque su contribución ha sido buena, por supuesto, y ha sido provechosa para todos y ha enriquecido este proyecto. En estas islas paradisíacas, con el mar que hemos visto ahí fuera de telón de fondo, no puedo dejar de mencionar, aunque sea solo un momento, y celebrar el acuerdo histórico alcanzado hace muy pocos días, con apenas 7 u 8, de los países miembros de la ONU para crear el primer tratado internacional de protección de la alta mar, un tratado esencial para la conservación del 30% del territorio y, sobre todo, del mar, de la alta mar. Es sin duda un acuerdo histórico para la conservación y yo creo que en estos momentos de tantísima incertidumbre económica, social, geopolítica, yo creo que esta posibilidad de acuerdo, trabajado desde hace muchos años, es una señal de que en este mundo dividido, proteger a la naturaleza y a la gente ha podido imponerse a la geopolítica y yo creo que lo tenemos que celebrar. Ha sido un soplo de aire fresco, una luz clara, un rayo de luz en estos momentos de incertidumbre que vamos atravesando continuamente, si lo vamos pensando, ¿no? Los ecosistemas costeros, donde estamos hoy, tenemos el privilegio de estar, son los principales destinos turísticos. De los viajeros, la mitad de los viajeros de todo el mundo eligen un espacio costero para pasar sus vacaciones y, por tanto, el turismo desempeña un papel muy importante en estos territorios, por la importancia de su actividad económica. Y este nuevo tratado precisamente busca la protección del mar, del océano, como fuente de riqueza también para todos los territorios costeros, pero de una forma especial para los territorios insulares. Un acuerdo muy importante para el mar, para el turismo y para la gente. Y para los archipiélagos con vocación turística, como este, como el Canario, este acuerdo va a ser otro factor positivo para su sostenibilidad, su competitividad en todos sus aspectos. La importancia del mar, de los mares en el sector turístico es evidente, ¿no? Por lo que gestionar de forma eficiente y responsable sus recursos, restaurando si es necesario y aprovechando de forma racional, como les decía, introduciendo la innovación, es esencial para nuestro futuro. En este sentido, apoyar a las comunidades locales, a los ecosistemas marinos en estos territorios frágiles insulares, con un turismo innovador apoyado por la tecnología, es la meta que todos perseguimos. El turismo, todos lo sabemos, es un motor de cohesión social y económico que genera prosperidad. Y la prosperidad, pero esta prosperidad depende de cuánto los destinos y también los destinos insulares y las empresas adopten la innovación y soluciones disruptivas y digitalización en toda la cadena de valor, insisto, en destinos y en empresas, para así hacer frente a los distintos retos a los que nos vamos enfrentando día a día. Tensiones geopolíticas, fenómenos naturales adversos, crisis energética, inflación, quiebra de bancos hace 2 días que parecía imposible en un continente que nada lejano, pero que afecta a todo el mundo, todo ello con un impacto muy importante en el turismo. El turismo, que ha sido uno de los sectores que más ha sufrido los impactos de la pandemia, y los destinos insulares todavía más sufrieron sus consecuencias durante este periodo, se está adaptando a los conceptos que cada día vamos introduciendo, como el de la sostenibilidad, circularidad, digitalización, lucha contra el cambio climático. Todo ello ha visto, precisamente por efectos de la pandemia, que se han estado introduciendo de forma muy acelerada en todos los destinos y en las empresas, en toda la cadena de valor de todos. Y a medida que avanza la recuperación del sector, cobran relevancia los principios de la economía circular azul de Gunther Pauli, donde la naturaleza es la inspiradora para nuestros para la solución de nuestros problemas. Yo creo que ahora estamos en un momento donde la innovación y la inspiración de la naturaleza de la mano son los instrumentos para poder afrontar los retos que os estaba diciendo. O sea, innovaciones inspiradas en la naturaleza que generan múltiples beneficios, incluyendo empleos, capital social, ofreciendo más con menos. Es decir, la naturaleza como fuente de inspiración para mejorar empresas, destinos y la tecnología como instrumento para poder conseguirlo. Tenemos muchos retos, vosotros lo sabéis exactamente como yo, pero yo creo que también tenemos fortalezas, porque contamos con la fuerza y la visión de un potente sector privado, donde estáis vosotros, la complicidad de gobiernos como el de Gran Canaria y de organizaciones como la nuestra para trabajar juntos. Y esta jornada es un buen ejemplo de ello. Estamos aquí no solo para generar discusiones filosóficas, sino discusiones significativas e inspiradoras que ayuden al sector público y al sector privado a afrontar el día a día que tenemos. Estamos aquí para escuchar a estas nuevas empresas seleccionadas, conocer sus proyectos, ideas innovadoras, para aplicarlas y mejorar los destinos turísticos insulares. Gracias por vuestra participación, gracias a los 110 proyectos presentados, a los 10, por supuesto, que habéis conseguido llegar a esta meta, porque estamos nosotros aquí, la Organización Mundial del Turismo, con vosotros para apoyaros y para aprender conjuntamente para afrontar los retos que tenemos. Muchas gracias y feliz jornada. Gracias.
Very much. Thank you, Isabel María, Oliver Sagreras, Office of the Secretary General, World Tourism Organization. Before starting with the first panel, we will show you now a video message from Natalia Bayona. She unfortunately couldn't be with us today. She's first Innovation Director of the World Tourism Organization, and she has been leading the Innovation, Education and Investments Department of the World Tourism Organization for 5 years, introducing entrepreneurship, education and investments as key factors for tourism and development. Her work consists of identifying the most disruptive startups and investment projects and matching them with member states and leading corporations. As an advocate of youth and technology, she seeks to make entrepreneurs grow for a promising future in all regions. Let's see Natalia now.
It's my pleasure to be here today promoting innovation with the Canary Islands. Since the beginning of this project during the pandemia, I remembered when I was sitting in the sofa of my house and I received an amazing call from the Canary Islands asking for help when it comes to innovation and trying to open some doors to see what we can do. The bright thing and the very important thing is that we are here today celebrating some years after, to make the ecosystem brighter, leaner, and of course, innovative when it comes to tourism. Today, I have to thank my team and Cabildo de Canarias and of course Infecar, who has been supporting us since the beginning to promote this UNWTO startup competition on island destinations. It was an incredible movement that we did in order to promote tourism. I have to say that I was impressed when I saw that there were more than 100 applications from 49 countries. That's a lot. And that today we have the pleasure to have the top startups from all around the world writing and pitching and presenting their solutions in the Canary Islands. But the most important thing is what will happen again on this celebration. First of all, having the opportunity to accelerate the processes in the Canary Islands and when it comes to island solutions is really bright. Second of all, the opportunity that these startups will have on scalability and internationalization, because they can come from their country to the Canary Islands with the support of the island and with the support, of course, of the UNWTO. to have mentorships, and to access to the UNWTO network, a network that has more than 200 investors, more than 1,000 corporates, more than 100 academic institutions, more than 40 incubators and accelerators all around the world. So, my dearest startups, you are the winners today, and we are starting together a journey. Don't miss the opportunity. Take these services as part of your scalability process. As you know, we are in the country not only of the UNWTO, this is our house, but Spain is one of the most important countries when it comes to tourism, and the Canary Islands is of course one of the big princesses of this house. And I was reading and I was really impressed to see that 3.8% of the total GDP of Spain is thanks to the Canary Islands. That's really strong, and that's really a strong message, because when you see what the Canary Islands has been doing in terms of innovation, accelerating more than 78 startups, creating innovation labs, creating a framework on smart destinations, working together, public and private sector, in order to foster education, I have to say that the Canary Islands is going in the right way. So unfortunately, I cannot be there today due to my maternity leave. I have another venture to process and to protect, but I am there by heart, working with you, promoting everything related to innovation, startups and technology, and wishing all the best on this unique journey. The first time that we are working for islands and by the power of the innovators. So let's start the journey. I am super happy to see the panelists, to see that there is a lot of public-private cooperation that is the way to improve innovation. So I feel that all the services are here ready to make these entrepreneurs bright. Enjoy the journey, and thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Natalia. Well, motherhood is also a great adventure. A new project she is starting now. We will miss her today anyway. Let's start with session number 1, called Enhancing Entrepreneurship and Sustainable Economic Opportunities for Island Destinations Through Successful Governance Models and Technology. Promoting knowledge and enhancing entrepreneurship is key to driving the workforce in island destinations. It is important to invest in human capital and technology too, as well as to strengthen private-public partnerships to assure a business model that works for these destinations. Which governance models are being implemented to guarantee sustainable opportunities? Are there specific technologies that island destinations can benefit from? It is my pleasure to invite on stage Mr. Peter Janech, coordinator of the Department of Innovation, Education and Investments of the World Tourism Organization. Welcome on stage, Peter. He will try to help us find answers to all these questions. Please, you will be here? Okay. Together with the panelists from this panel, let me introduce them to you. Mr. Leslie Vela, Deputy CEO, Chief Officer, Strategic Development, Malta Tourism Authority. Welcome on stage. Ms. Olga Theoharous, Senior Tourism Officer, Directorate of Quality Assurance and Licensing of Tourist Enterprises, Deputy Ministry of Tourism, Cyprus. Welcome, Olga. Mr. Dalibor Svitkovic, Director, Mali Losinj Tourist Board, Croatia. Welcome on stage. Mr. Claudio Della Lucia, Councillor, Italian Island Hotel Association. Benvenuto. Mr. Sergio Moreno, Professor, University of Las Palmas de Gran Canaria, Director, Institute of Tourism and Sustainable Development of the University of Las Palmas de Gran Canaria, and also co-director in UNESCO Chair with the same position. Mr. Cosme Garcia Falcon, Managing Director, Gran Canaria Economic Development Agency, SPEC. Welcome on stage. Bienvenido. And Mrs. Leticia Laufer Jiménez, Director, Wacalúa Tourism Innovation Hub, Spain. Bienvenida, welcome on stage. Peter, it's all yours.
Thank you very much, Laura. Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. Thank you, speakers, for accepting our invitation. It's a great pleasure to count with all of you. We have a great representation. We have a fantastic round table today. We have representatives from the national governments, regional governments, local tourism boards. We have private sector, and of course, we have academia and a stakeholder from an innovation ecosystem. I think we cannot wish anything better. A housekeeping announcement. We will have a counter of 3 minutes. So I'm going to give you the floor for a 3 minutes introduction within the context, followed by one specific questions. As we are very tight on time and the panel has around 1 hour, I really would like to kindly ask you to be really punctual on the timing. When it comes to the panel is enhancing entrepreneurship and sustainable economic opportunities for island destinations through successful governance model and technology. As international travel is picking up speed and scale, the numbers for 2022 once again showing very positive results. And one of the discussion yesterday I was having with Mr. Ukaru confirmed that the numbers are skyrocketing. Cyprus already this year showing way better numbers than in the historic year of 2019. So the growth is picking up, the confidence is there. Nevertheless, islands once again will face, as Mr. Leslie Vella told me once, increasing pressure and challenges as tourism grows, besides, of course, still coping with the devastating social and economic impacts of the pandemic. In this context, governmental policies are crucial to create economic opportunities, effectively support entrepreneurship, and embrace digital tools and innovative solutions to support an inclusive recovery. Against this backdrop, hence, without further ado, let me wish you a successful debate, and I would like to give the floor to Leslie. Leslie, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Peter, and good morning to all. It's a pleasure to be here in Gran Canaria on my first ever visit. I come from an island country, which is 20% the surface area of Gran Canaria, so you can fit 5 Maltas in Gran Canaria. However, we compensate for our small size by not being intimidated by small size. We are a very successful tourism destination in the central Mediterranean. Tourism is about 15% of our economic activity. It's a highly diversified economy, but tourism is a very important component because it interlinks with a lot of the other sectors in the economy. Obviously, we suffered a lot during the pandemic. Tourism in 2020 fell to 1983 levels, but last year we have already recuperated 85% of our tourism and expect that this year we will be pretty close to 2019. In the interim between the pandemic and the current period, we updated our strategy and we published a new tourism strategy to 2030, which is based on the principle of recovery, rethinking, and revitalizing tourism. And I think it's very important that we are having a discussion this morning within a family of islands, because the reality of islands is very different from the realities faced by mainlands and by other destinations. Most of the decision makers out there are not people who understand islands. They are people who have visited islands on holidays, but they do not necessarily understand islands as much as we do. We have our own realities and we have our own challenges, and I think that we live and operate at a time where, with the strong bouncing back of tourism and the big challenges coming from the world of sustainability, the big challenges coming from the world of climate change and the changing world, pose upon us a great demand to be more innovative and to use the digital technologies more effectively to sustain a tourism ecosystem which will help us survive in the long run. And this is what I hope I will contribute to in the discussion this morning, share our experiences, our successes, but also our challenges and limitations. And I look forward to a fruitful discussion so that we can bring the issue of island tourism to the fore in a way which no other discussion can bring, by having all the islands together and sharing our experiences together. I hope I've stuck to time, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Leslie. I always love to give the floor to Leslie because he always puts really insightful thoughts, sometimes even provocative thoughts, which are generating very fruitful discussions. And once again, Leslie, I think, is the doyen of this group. Congratulating for you also from the bottom of my heart for your 40 years in the Malta Tourism Authority. You have seen a lot. Nevertheless, COVID was none of them. And wishing you all the success in the future endeavors. Thank you. Olga, the floor is yours, please.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for the invitation, and thank you for giving me the chance to be here with you and to have the opportunity to see this beautiful island of Canary Islands. I also come from a small island, which is located in the far east of the Mediterranean Sea, Cyprus. Like Malta, we've been suffering from over-tourism. The COVID impacts created a great loss on our tourism inbound business. And following COVID, we also suffer from the loss of the Russian market, which was accounting 1/5 of our tourism, inbound tourism. Nevertheless, as Peter said, this year we managed to rebound, and January was the best month ever in tourism arrivals in Cyprus. We even managed to compensate and exceed January results of 2019, which was our record year. On the other hand, like most island destinations, we are facing serious problems related to the carrying capacity of the island in terms of the use of our natural resources, water, land use, limitations on the availability of labor. Accessibility is totally dependent on airlines, and seasonality problems, so on and so forth. So what COVID taught us is that we have to develop a strong tourism industry, an industry which is based on sustainability matters, an industry which takes into consideration the environment, the protection of the environment, which respects the cultural heritage of the country. The social impact of tourism is taken also into consideration, and that the local population is respected. So what we have done during COVID, like Malta, we also reviewed our strategy, and we redirected our priorities. What we did is that we tried to introduce new products to redirect tourist visitors from the crowded areas which are located in the seaside of the coastal areas of the island towards the hinterland, towards the rural and mountainous areas of Cyprus. This will give the opportunity for the people in less developed areas to increase their income and to get something out of tourism industry too. So what we did, we carried an analysis of the strengths and weaknesses of the country, and we identified a number of special interest products which could be developed in that area. Those products aim mainly they were based on sustainability aspects, and they aim to create a holistic product for the year-round, to create a year-round destination. Some of the examples for these products is the development of cultural and religious tourism, gastronomy, health and wellness tourism, sports and biking. Most of them do not require the development of hard infrastructure. Most of them are based on the existing resources of the island, and we take what is there, what it has existed, and do improve it, we enhance it, and we package it in a nice way and give it to the visitors. Thank you.
Thank you, Olga, for the insights related to the challenges Cyprus is facing with. Let's sail towards the Adriatic Sea, and let's have some information from Croatia. Mr. Cvitkovic, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Bon dias, dobro jutro svima. Good morning to everyone. It's my first time here. Croatia is well known, the destination of thousands of islands, but only 80 of them are inhabited. I come from the island of Losinj. Mali Losinj is the biggest town on the Croatian islands with only 7,000 people. The biggest town on the Croatian islands with 7,000 people. It's one street here in Las Palmas. But during the summer period, this number increased to 7 times more. So it's actually 50,000 people on the island during the summer. And our challenge is how to have the balance between the development of the tourism, of the growing the numbers, and also protecting the area of the environment of the Losinj, and also the footprint of the tourists. I will speak about that a little bit later. Yes, that's a challenge that we are facing today. Also, the digitalization will help us a lot, but it's also the problem with the people. We don't have people who will work in the tourism sector. So I will also say that a little bit later. So I will not use all the 3 minutes. I have prepared something for the discussions, but just the knowing that the island is the closed community. It's not like land. So everything what you do on the island is impact much more than in another part of the country. So you have to be careful of developing of the tourism. It's okay to have the numbers to set on the television. Okay, we have a lot of tourists. We recovered ourselves from the COVID years, but where we want to go. So actually, we have to put the plans, the capacity, and ask the local people what they want to do, because they are living on this island. Okay, thank you. We will discuss it later a bit more.
Thank you, Dalibor, for the informations and the thoughts. We already see after 3 presentations that there are many common challenges the islands are facing with. Of course, take into account their territory. There is no possibility to spill over. It's a very given frame, it's a very given surface, and you have to deal with that within that surface. Let's go to your neighbors in the other side of the Adriatic Sea. Claudio, the floor is yours to talk about maybe a little bit of Elba Isola Elba, and then the experience you were having there from the post-COVID.
Yes, it's very nice to be here. We thank you for the invitation. I'm coming from the Tyrrhenic Sea, on the other part of Italy, but I represent the Little Island of Italy, the Hotel Association of the Little Islands of Italy. But I was, between the 2014 and 2021, the founder and the CEO of the touristic organization of Elba Island. That was an idea putting together the 7 municipalities of the island, the national park that is inside the island, and the private part. I will share after our experience, especially with the startup, because we already have a lot of them. Getting back to our numbers, we luckily, more or less all the island of Italy recovered already 100% of the number before COVID. This is a nice point, but is also our weakness, because most of us, especially Elba, have big problem in connection, having only a little airport, but a regional, but 99% of the traffic is by ferry. This allows us only to have a market area not so big. So from this market, in the COVID period, and just after the COVID, we recover all the number in a very easy way. But our challenge for the future is the connectivity. Of course, like island, I guess I am the smallest island here in the panel, but we have all the same problem, and we can also face this problem like big opportunities, because on island, that was already told, everything we do is really effective, and you see exactly what is coming out. We are now facing a phase in which we are trying to produce on the island and to share all the electricity, all the water that we need. I know that in Gran Canaria is already done. We are a little bit not so in front of this run, but we are working in the sustainability in this way, and it is really easier on an island than in other conditions. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Claudio, for the thoughts. Now from policymakers to policy implementers, let's shift to academia. Sergio, the floor is yours. You are one of the ones who are representing the island. So please, it's a pleasure to having you here. And then let's talk about what academia thinks about it and how you can help to make all these problems, let's say, not disappear, but to find adequate answers and solutions for the policymakers. Thank you. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Peter. Yeah, I'm playing at home, and I'm representing the University of Las Palmas of Gran Canaria. So it's a research center. It's called Tourism and Sustainable Development Institute. And actually, that institute is ranked as #1 in the European Union in terms of research in tourism. And I like to say that in a low voice, because you know what? It's a side effect of Brexit. So some British universities were ahead of us, but now we're #1 at the European Union. So that's cool. And we also host the UNESCO Chair on Tourism and Sustainable Development, where we do develop more applied projects. And basically, we've done many projects, like the Tourism Recovery Plan in Asia Pacific with United Nations Development Program. We do work with different governments in Latin America, also with different applied projects in Africa as well, especially West Africa, but the entire continent. We ran a training program, for instance, that is called Tourism and Women in Africa. So we provide education for women all around the continent within that UNESCO chair. And of course in Europe, where we develop different projects, as I will be talking later on about that as well. And then about the relevance of the topic, I would like to say that actually there is a relevance paradox. It means that we are unaware of some critical information we don't know. And because we are unaware of that information, we don't understand how relevant or important that information is. Basically, we know what we know, we don't know what we don't know. And 95% of our decisions are subconscious. So what we do in terms of research right now, it's analyzing the customer experience, but all that part that is subconscious. For instance, we analyze attention. We use eye tracking to understand what is catching the tourist's attention. We analyze engagement and interest. Is that content catching your attention or not? Then we analyze the impact of that stimuli. Do you evoke any emotion at all, arousal at all? Yes, no? If yes, is it positive or negative? And more specifically, what kind of emotion are you evoking? Is it fear? Is it happiness, sadness, anger? Let's think about sustainability. When you have any content, how do you want to approach that? Do you want to generate fear in your local population and also your customer, or what kind of emotion do you try to evoke? So we use face coding, analyzing the different muscles we have in our face to understand what kind of emotions you are perceiving and evoking. And we use EEG, electroencephalogram, as well, to analyze those contents. And with all that information, we also use virtual reality, augmented reality, and so on, so different technologies available. Basically, what we try to do is to design new products, to improve communication, to improve the customer experience, web usability, and so on and so forth. That's basically, in simple words, what we do. We also have one specific research project related to gastronomy, where we have an immersive capsule with 5 senses. So we analyze that gastronomy part related to tourism using those techniques. And at the end, what we get is big data. It's not about internet, it's big data that happens inside every single person, every single tourist. Just think about, I don't know, attention. So you have like 20 variables per second, but you get more than 20 different indicators besides attention. That can be engagement, that can be, different ones. So at the very end, it's a huge amount of data of every single person in 1 second. So you do the maths and you realize how important that big data is and all the information we can get of the tourists to analyze their customer experience and how to improve at the very end all the key performance indicators of the destination. So that's like an introduction statement.
Thank you, Sergio. I think it's important, the work academia is doing to support the policymakers. Evidence-based policymaking, it's key. Without proper analysis, without proper projections, basically your politicians' stands are tight. So thank you very much. Now we're going more really deep in economics, and thank you for being with us, Mr. Falcon, who is the Managing Director of the Gran Canaria Economic Development Agency. I think your role is extremely crucial in the context of this panel. So I would like to give you the floor to explain what you're doing, how you help, and how you support entrepreneurship and creating sustainable economic opportunities. Thank you. The floor is yours.
Okay. Buenos días. Sorry for the inconveniences, but I'll give my brief speech in Spanish, if you don't mind. Primero que nada, introducir la entidad que yo dirijo. Soy el director, como decía el moderador, de la Sociedad de Promoción Económica de Gran Canaria, que es una agencia de promoción económica, no es una agencia especializada en la promoción turística. Es decir, no, estamos conectados con el turismo por lo que diré ahora, pero no es exactamente una agencia de promoción turística. Como supongo que ya habrán visto, la isla de Gran Canaria es una isla eminentemente turística. Aproximadamente el 35% del Producto Interior Bruto lo representa el turismo, sin el impacto indirecto, por supuesto, y en torno al 40%. ¿Qué significa eso? Significa que de una manera u otra todo el entorno productivo de la isla está ligado de una manera u otra al turismo. En ese contexto, el papel que tenemos nosotros nuestra misión empresarial dice contribuir a la promoción económica de la isla, a su competitividad y por ende a la diversificación de la actividad económica, con lo cual podría parecer contradictorio porque si es diversificación económica parece que trata de reducir el peso del turismo, pero no lo es así. Entonces, teniendo como referencia que el turismo y las actividades asociadas de la misma están en la isla, bueno, pues tratamos de prestarle atención. Entonces, la sociedad tiene 3 ejes de trabajo, que después en la segunda intervención explicaré con más detalle. Uno está orientado a la creación de empresas innovadoras, en un sentido amplio de la palabra. Ahora en España se denomina emergentes, es decir, empresas con nuevos modelos de negocio, nuevas actividades tecnológicas y, por supuesto, que las ligadas al turismo tienen un ámbito muy interesante de crecimiento. Y también empresas de alguna manera que vienen de fuera, ahora lo explicaré con más detalle. Otro lado, nos preocupa la competitividad económica de la isla, y la competitividad económica de las empresas pasa por la innovación. Le prestamos mucha atención a la innovación, muchísima, y por supuesto a las empresas turísticas se benefician de nuestros programas de apoyo a la innovación orientada a la competitividad. Y por último, somos la agencia de atracción de proyectos, empresas y profesionales a la isla. Sectores como el audiovisual, el cine, sectores como las tecnologías de la información, sectores vinculados a la industria offshore, vinculados a nuestro entorno marítimo, empresas de I+D que tratan de aprovechar las ventajas fiscales de Canarias, y también en ese marco también atraemos empresas que presten servicios a la industria turística. No tiene sentido que nos dediquemos a traer empresas turísticas porque nuestro tejido turístico, nuestra capital turística, nuestras empresas turísticas son fuertes y no tiene sentido. Y como corolario de todo eso se puede hacer porque en Canarias disponemos de unos instrumentos fiscales muy competitivos, de baja tributación, que sobre todo para empresas que presten servicios a la industria turística son muy ventajosas, que si después en la segunda intervención hay huecos, pues avanzaré algo de eso.
Muchísimas gracias, señor Falcón, para compartir con nosotros qué hace la agencia. Por supuesto, es muy importante la innovación, digitalización, los pymes y los startups, que esta forma parte del ecosistema. Y el último, I would like to give the floor to Leticia, our great friend and supporter from the beginning of the Innovation Department, from the Wacalúa Innovation Hub, the innovador of this panel. Please, Leticia, the floor is yours to tell us how Wacalúa is helping and supporting the development of the tourism innovation ecosystem. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Peter, for the invitation. Thank you, all of you. Congratulations to all the finalists that are here from this amazing program that we have the pleasure to support and collaborate with the UNWTO, as we try to do from the beginning, as you said. I'm more than happy to be here in Canary Island. I was born in Guadalajara. I live in Madrid, but my heart is here in these islands where I had the opportunity to live for a year. In this moment of my life, from 7 years ago, I'm very involved with innovation, with sustainability programs, and also with tourism that are a reference or are trying to be a reference in sustainability, in high quality, in new business model, in new technology, in new ways about how to do in a better way all the ecosystem that surround the destination. From Wacalúa, we are a platform where we try to put all together to connect the talent, the entrepreneurs, the investors, the companies, government and institutions, and of course the academy. Now, here in Canary Islands, we are starting to create an innovation ecosystem. The first step has begun with Lanzarote Island, with a project called Marina Innova, or My Hub, when different companies like Telefónica, Santander Bank, Oracle, Grupo San Miguel Mau, and Wacalúa, we are some of the founder partners of this amazing project that try to make Lanzarote a reference, an example of a new way of have a track record of the tourism with data, with artificial intelligence, with sustainability, with a lot of projects that we co-create, because this partner I just named, we came from different sectors, but we are all together in order to create a node of labs in this platform called My Hub, and co-create, well, first of all, create the challenge for the island, then from the all Canary Islands, and then we want to launch global challenge. Then we co-create these solutions with entrepreneurs, and try to accelerate and mentorize them and then scale up the solution and do proof of concept. I'm out of time, but only to remark that we are also now collaborating with Tenerife Island with Mentor Day Acceleration Program. They are going to launch the biggest one for 2,000, I think, for 2,000 entrepreneurs with a cost is for free for them because an institution is going to pay about 5,000 euros. I think it's a good opportunity for all the entrepreneurs who has applied to this program. They are more than welcome to this program that is going to be launched next April. Later on, I can give more details about some examples of entrepreneurs and solutions and startups that we are starting to prove here in Canarias in order to make Canary Islands a reference. And we can talk together after this because you have the key. Investment is very important for this solution that we have for your challenge. And it's only put all together. We have all the raw material to make a reality.
Thank you, Leticia. Thank you for providing a little background about the innovation part and how you as an innovation hub is working, particularly in an island context. Now let's go to real business. Let's have a really Q&A session. Leslie, my first question to you. What are the concrete measures our government could implement to promote innovation, entrepreneurship in island destinations?
Okay. I think from our experience, the most important thing is to give a strong priority to tourism. From our end, the most relevant aspect is that tourism is elevated to a full-blown, self-contained ministry for tourism, so that gives tourism a strong voice in cabinet. And having a ministry for tourism with specific responsibility for the industry ensures that tourism is high on the national agenda. Besides that, there is obviously the necessity to invest funds in tourism. Without funds, tourism cannot succeed or cannot give returns as much as it potentially can, and our government is very committed by ensuring that the Malta Tourism Authority receives good budgets every year to enable it to carry out its functions. Thirdly, and very importantly, there is the element, I think, of integration of tourism in all the other areas of economic activity. So tourism is not seen as a mutually exclusive activity which operates on its own and independently of other sectors, but is integrated. And in a way, it provides the economic rationale to support the economic development of other sectors as well. It could be health, it could be education, it could be infrastructure, it could be retail, it could be investment in technology and digitalization. We see tourism as an element which adds to the population and helps create a critical mass. When you have a small population like we do, 500,000 people, with 500,000 people in a very small territory, it is not usual, it is generally very difficult to sustain certain types of investments on the strength of the population alone. So tourism helps to create a critical mass. I'll give the example of connectivity, for instance. How can you connect a small island state to the south of Sicily to 120 airports with a resident population of 500,000 alone? It's impossible to do that, but because of tourism, we are directly connected with 110 airports, and we generate 7 million passenger movements. Only tourism makes that possible. How can you sustain the investment in an infrastructure for your small population? Tourism makes it possible because it brings in the money and it brings in the activity, and the list goes on. But it goes beyond the things that one normally associates with hospitality. It's not only about sustaining restaurants or attractions or hotels. It's about sustaining the education system. by attracting foreign students. It's about sustaining investment in health by attracting medical tourism. And the list goes on, and on. So in a nutshell, I think the prioritization of tourism and its integration within the wider economic agenda, the allocation of funding, which is necessary, and the understanding that tourism can help elevate the quality of life in the community by creating, by contributing to this critical mass of demand to sustain things which otherwise the island would not be able to sustain.
Thank you, Leslie. Olga, a couple of hundreds of kilometers away from Malta, are you facing more or less the same challenges, or your post-COVID priority is a little bit different than the one of Malta?
Well, during COVID, we faced a lot of challenges in relation to the changing needs of the consumers' behavior, the new trends on market travel. The consumers, because of COVID, they became more familiar with the technology, and they are willing to take more technological advances and include them in their life. Also, the pandemic, after the pandemic, tourists like to travel in less populated areas, in not so busy destinations. They like to do their own travel arrangements. They don't go through travel agents. They want to visit less populated and less known destinations. And they are also becoming more conscious on environmental issues. So a destination like Cyprus has to address this new tourist profile in order to come out in a very successful way of COVID. So some of the challenges, innovative challenges that we are facing and we are going to address in relation to the changing profile of the tourist travelers are related with the development of high health and safety standards, which are already being in place, during COVID, in order to ensure that visitors still feel safe at the destination and that they are confident that the destination is clean and secure. We need also to create policies and initiatives to support sustainable tourism practices. For example, practices which are related to the reduction of carbon emissions, protection of wildlife and natural habitats, and the promotion of cultural heritage. Another challenge is to embrace the technological solutions, such as online booking platforms and virtual tours, in order to respond again to the new tourist profile. We need to explore new opportunities to diversify the tourism offering. This includes the development of niche products such as rural, nature tourism, and cultural tourism, these special interest products that I've already talked in my first intervention. And we also need to come close and collaborate closely with our stakeholders, coming from the private sector, from the local communities, our collaborators from abroad, and this is only how we will be able to come out in a successful way from COVID. Thank you.
Thank you, Olga. From a national perspective, let's go deeper down to the local level. Your ministry just last year in August adopted a new sustainable development strategy. Is digitalization and innovation was really high on that agenda? And if so, how this is implemented at the local level in your island context? Dalibor, please.
Yes. As you just said, the Ministry of the Tourism and Sport just adopted a new strategic of development of the sustainable tourism in Croatia until 2030. The four main directions are year-round and regional balance on tourism, tourism with a preserved environment, space and climate, creativity and innovative tourism, and reusable tourism. So when we speak about the innovative and creative tourism, the most important thing is to have the digital transformation. Now it's announced in Croatia, the new platform in Croatia, digital tourism, with numerous of applications inside. We are using the main application, it's called e-visitor, that we are using daily. So e-visitor is the application for check-in, check-out all the guests, and for the counting and billing of the tourism tax. That means that we know in a moment how many tourists are in a destination, where they're coming from, not just a nationality, but we can know the region, even the town where they are coming from. So they are not just Germans, they are from Bavaria or from the Munich. So it's very good to, when you have the, some marketing campaign, that you know the targeting your guests. Also we know, of course, the gender, the age and everything, but we know also the accommodation units in the moment and the occupancy of these units. And it's also helpful, we are talking about the commercial side, but also not commercial side is obligations to register in e-visitor. The people who are on the second homes. I don't know if you are aware here in Canarian Islands, but in Croatia there are a lot of people who have their second homes on the islands, and this also increased the number of population on the island. It's not just the tourists. The other application that we are using is tourist register, where all the companies related with the tourism, not just the public and not public sector, also the responsible person are inside. We have all the data. It's a tourism start for starting a new business. And the tourism riznica, I don't know, riznica is Croatian word for the treasure. Mm-hmm. That's the most interesting part for us, because that's where the money lies. So that's for the foundings, everything's inside. You can, on one place for the foundings from EU, from the government, for the region or the local part.
Thank you, Dalibor. I think it's important the way you are embracing the new innovative solutions and using it from a local perspective. Claudio, what are the innovation challenges or priorities from a private sector point of view? You are representing hotels, so how hotels are facing with this new reality, and what is the experience of the Isola Elba in this context? Thank you.
So innovation, of course, is the challenge of these days. The creation also of experience, and for this, we are more or less organized. We need a lot of data, more than before. In the past, it was enough for sail in the ocean to know more or less where is the north, and the rest was enough. But not so many people were able to do, and not so many of them were arriving at the destination. Now, you know, nobody's moving one step if you don't have the GPS, the maps, everything. In our business, is more or less the same. Due to a nice collaboration with the local government in this period, we are establishing a system of data, connecting all the PMS of our companies, connecting to the PMS of the ferry companies coming to the island and the airplane companies landing to the island. So we have day by day the situation, for example, in comparison with other years, with the previous years, but also the forecast of what is happening in this year, day by day, during an event, which is the percentage of rooms sold in the period, at which price, etc. So each of our hotel or company can know what is happening in the destination and can confront with his data. This is important. We are now making the same also with the website, the sales system, and the destination portal. So at the moment, we know also how is the pressure of demand of interest day by day. And this is important in cooperation with our government, local government, for the promotion, because we know exactly is too much, but we know more or less if an action has such a success or not. You know that in promotion, mainly 50% of your investment is lost. The problem is that nobody knows which is the 50% really not effective. In this way, we are trying to go a little bit deeper on this matter, and this is working. As I told you, we recover more or less 100%. I take only half a minute more to share an experience because in the last 10 years, we worked with the startup system due to the fact that we did not have enough money to make promotion we wanted to do. So we used this new technology in another perspective. We tried to select each year one idea and one company, usually a startup, to model and to make together a project in new technology connected to sustainability or to some of important items of today, being the first destination doing this and using this to make some media content self-promoting. The last one we have done, the name is Elba Smart Exploring with Google, with a startup that was using the Google system. And we spent more or less 60,000 euro in totally, and we came out with more or less 7 million of value of visibility. No money, you have to have a little bit more imagination. Like Einstein told, so imagination sometimes is more important than knowledge. We have to do this, but we thank the startup world that is, for us, a big help. Thank you to all of you.
Thank you, Claudio, for sharing with us this very interesting approach. I think besides this, data and the power of data was told also by Sergio, and I'm pretty sure that the second panel we will be able to hear from Amadeus and MasterCard why is it so important and how it could be used for the sector. Sergio, over to you. You are academia, you said. You are also forming part of our INSTO network, which is the network of sustainable tourism observatories representing the Canary Islands. I checked on the website, there are two very interesting criteria besides the other 6 or 7. One is labor, skills, entrepreneurship and employment. And the second one is digitalization, knowledge and smart tourism. How this is helpful for the governments, regional, local, national governments, and how you use this to contribute to support sustainable economic opportunities. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, I think INSTO observatories are a very meaningful initiative, and they really add value because they connect different destinations. And let's think about islands. I always say that, you know, small is beautiful when unique and connected. So we are islands. My colleagues, they were explaining great initiatives, how they're doing their destinations unique by innovation, by sustainability measures, so to generate that unique criteria. But we have to be connected, and INSTO observatories allow to be in a global context, connected with other destinations, sharing best practices, learning from our peers, and also adding insightful thoughts to other destinations. So in our specific case, we apply, for instance, those neuromarketing techniques to skills, for instance, training, coaching, and so on, but also analyzing the new tasks and the new skills, you know, upskilling our networks and reskilling, because the paradigm is changing dramatically. You know, we all are discussing nowadays about ChatGPT and blah, 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 artificial intelligence, blah, blah, blah. So it's a different world, right? So we need to adapt our resources to this new scenario. And in a very pragmatic way, we are, for instance, leading a European project. It's called Euro Emotour, because our lab is called Emotour Lab, so we were lacking of imagination, so we just name it Euro Emotour. So 3 pilot clusters, Canary Islands, Veneto in Italy, and Lapland in Finland, and we provide support to 100 SMEs to provide training, coaching, using these techniques, and also financial support to those SMEs, so they can advance into their digitalization agenda using these techniques. For instance, that 50% we don't know we are spending and not investing. So analyzing those techniques, we can identify what content works and what doesn't, right? So that's why we are using those techniques. And now the next step and the challenge is to scale this analysis to other destinations. I think that's our next step. At INSTO observatories are a great opportunity and a great scenario to share initiatives like this one with other destinations and keep learning from each other. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Sergio. Let's move on to, once again, Canary Islands. My question would be that what role the Economic Development Agency is playing in supporting the creation of economic opportunities. Has this changed a little bit after COVID-19? And then an extra question came to my mind while listening Sergio, because they are the ones who are analyzing and providing prognosis. Are you working with them to change maybe, or to recalibrate the policies, the incentives you are offering by working with the academia or by working with the Canary Observatory specifically?
Okay, I'll try to answer everything. Bueno, en primer lugar me gustaría hacer una pequeña reflexión. Las oportunidades económicas para el sector turístico vienen no de lo que hagamos las agencias de promoción económica. Como decía anteriormente, el turismo es un sector que está afectado por todas las políticas y está afectado mayormente por las decisiones de los agentes privados. Por decir 3 casos, lo que está pasando en Lanzarote, las decisiones inversoras en Lanzarote de los privados están cambiando mucho el turismo. En Gran Canaria, por decir, la declaración de patrimonio de la humanidad, un patrimonio es un nuevo recurso turístico, o por ejemplo que se está haciendo una gran carretera para una zona de la isla, va a cambiar la isla. Es decir, que quiero decir que las políticas públicas crean oportunidades económicas para el turístico, las políticas regulatorias, las políticas ambientales, etc. Y nosotros pues estamos un poco al albur de esas políticas, en cierta medida, porque tenemos que aprovechar esas oportunidades para fomentar determinadas políticas de apoyo a la creación de empresas. También tenemos que tener una reflexión, al menos desde las agencias económicas, cuál es nuestro rol, que es complementario, y en segundo lugar también qué tipo de destino tenemos. No es lo mismo un destino Gran Canaria, que es una mezcla de destinos, pero fundamentalmente basado en un destino de sol y playa y destino urbano, tiene otros destinos, y eso marca un poco las políticas que tenemos que hacer. Pero centrándonos específico en su pregunta, la relación entre las agencias de turismo y nuestras agencias de desarrollo económico son necesarias, y en concreto, por decirlo, lo que estamos haciendo, pues estamos apoyando a las startups, básicamente startups que estén en negocios o sectores vinculados a la digitalización y a la descarbonización, fundamentalmente, clarísimamente están afectadas al sector turístico, afectan al sector turístico. Ahí lo ofrecemos todo, incluso invertimos en ellas. Tenemos instrumentos que invertimos directamente en las startups con inversores privados que están invirtiendo en empresas vinculadas al sector turístico. Nos preocupa mucho la innovación, como decía anteriormente, y la innovación pasa por talento. Es decir, la innovación en las empresas pasa porque las personas estén más capacitadas. Entonces focalizamos mucho nuestra gestión en dotarle de los mayores conocimientos a las personas de las empresas para que innoven, y también intentamos dar todo el apoyo posible para que se financie la innovación, tanto con instrumentos fiscales como con instrumentos financieros. Los dos vectores que decía anteriormente, tanto descarbonización como digitalización, están presentes como prioridad máxima. Y por último, también en el caso de Gran Canaria y en relación con, nuestra agencia de promoción turística, nuestro papel como agencia de promoción económica no solo se limita a apoyar, sino también nuestro órgano padre, el Cabildo, nos exige a veces que seamos activos, que invirtamos. Entonces tenemos un proyecto en la isla que trata de apoyar las tecnologías smart específicamente al sector turístico. Por eso el año pasado sacamos la primera versión, ahora mismo sacaremos la segunda versión de un sistema de inteligencia turística, un Big Data, que se nutre de fuentes públicas, de fuentes privadas y de fuentes propias que estamos nosotros también generando desde empresas y también desde lo local. Esa es la primera versión, la segunda versión sale ahora, pero también ese proyecto no va solo con el Big Data, también estamos desarrollando aplicaciones o instrumentos vinculados al turismo, pero que también alimentan el sistema de inteligencia turística. Por ejemplo, estamos trabajando para toda la digitalización de los museos de la isla. Estamos trabajando para digitalizar todas las oficinas turísticas de la isla. Estamos también digitalizando todas las rutas interiores de la isla con la sensórica adecuada para sacar datos y convertirlos. Y también tenemos museos, oficinas, y también estamos en un proyecto para digitalizar, para conocer todo lo que pasa con los eventos de la isla, eventos de todo tipo. Eventos carnaval, que es muy famoso, pero eventos microeventos y eventos musicales, porque es muy importante para ver el comportamiento de la demanda y qué pasa con el turismo cuando hacemos eso. Son 5 proyectos que están en marcha, intrínsecamente conectados con el sistema de inteligencia turística. Yo creo que he agotado el tiempo, con lo cual no me callo. Gracias.
Thank you very much, Mr. Falco. I think you highlighted a really important factor of the symbiosis, no? Your agency is playing in the ecosystem with the tourism sector, not necessarily in a traditional way, but in a non-traditional way, yeah? Supporting innovation, supporting digitalization, of course. The island is also forming part of the smart destinations, which is really a Spanish invention. It's used to be driven by the ministry. I'm pretty sure Isabel could talk about hours and hours of a smart tourism destination concept, which was driven by the ministry and developed by Segitur. Last but not least, Leticia, your slogan of Wacalua is "We design collaborative and innovative solutions for tomorrow's traveler." How this approach could put at the service of an island, particularly for the tourism ecosystem?
Okay, thank you, Peter. As I said before, we believe in collaboration. It's the only way to do things. In order to be real, investment is very important. It's one of the first steps. Accelerator, institutions like the UNWTO that are the speaker to the world in order to attract the best talent of the world. And we have here the perfect place to make a proof of concept of all these solutions, not all, but the best ones, and that apply to the challenge you were talking about, carbon footprint. One of the companies, one of the winners in another edition of the Star competition of from the UNWTO is Climate Trade, and they offset all the carbon footprint, and we are a private group. Wacalua belongs to Aboris. Aboris is the largest tourism group here in Spain. And one of the companies is in Tenerife, tubiete.com. They are working with data in order to have the offsetting of the carbon footprint from the beginning to the end, not only the flight, not only the hotel. Also, are three levels, and they are working on it. And at the same time, this company is doing projects and pilots with other companies. It's very important for us also social sustainability. People with any kind of disability deaf people. We have solution for problems of hearing of deaf people with a system of optical visual signs for hotels, for flights. The company is from Spain. It's called Visual Fly. Has been all other of the winners. And in an emergency situation, a hotel or a clock alarm, or if the baby is crying, they have a smartwatch or designs that with intelligent artificial intelligence and deep learning, they can make a travel more sustainable and better for these people with disabilities. We are also working with another Israel company, it's called Travaxi, and Travaxi has an API. You can connect directly to the tour operator, and they have the whole scope of disabilities, of people with move disabilities, or that they are blind or deaf, whatever, and they provide the travel end-to-end with a list of hotels, a list of transports, activities, destination, airlines, and so on. And with all of these, we can create a more sustainable tourism with new ways, open doors to people who couldn't allow to reach some destination. Also, we are promoting, this is very interesting thing, promoting destination with children. We have a video game for children that is linked to reading. And when they read about the destination, the gastronomy, the art, the culture, they are knowing about that place, that they are longing to go, and they invite the family, the parents, oh, Daddy, I finished this book and I get this in the video game, because there are like animals that stop flying with the children, stop reading. And in the moment that children begin to read, they are gonna put out of prison this animal with flights that are like books. And this, we are linking this now to destination in order to promote these places in a sustainable way, and it's another kind of promoting or marketing. A lot of interesting things that we can share with all of you. And congratulations again to the 10 finalists, and also the other 100 that can be here today with us.
Thank you, Leticia. Once again, thank you, Mr. Falco. Thank you, Sergio, Claudio, Dalibor, Olga, and Leslie. It was fantastic to having you here, to hear from different angles, from different perspectives. There are resurging challenges, which maybe disappeared for 2 years, no? But what we are here, that they are coming back. Not necessarily talking about it now, but when the numbers will reach once again the peak, those words which we were hearing in 2019 will come again. As one of my mentors told me recently, the time is ticking for the continent, but the time is ticking way faster for the islands. So we need to have adequate answers, new innovative solutions. It's in your hands of policymakers, based on academia, based on local experience, based on the private sector, and of course, without the support of innovation ecosystem members and stakeholders, this is not going to happen. So wishing you best of luck in the future endeavors, and I'm happy to give the floor back to our Master of Ceremony, Laura, please. Thank you very much.
Well, after these magistral interventions, we are here today in DigiON. Thank you very much, all the panelists. We are here to incentivize all these solutions, innovative solutions for islands destinations. And of course, we have time for the first round pitching. But I would like, first of all, introduce and invite to the stage to Mr. Glenn Covenberg. He's innovation specialist in the World Tourism Organization. He will show you the first finalists in the first pitch and run, which is called Deep Tech, New Technologies Applied to Sustainability. He's now been microphoned, Glenn. Yes, he's ready now. And we will have the opportunity to listen to these solutions creators, and they will have a short pitch time for you to know what they have developed. Thank you, Glenn. Welcome on stage.
Thank you, Laura. First of all, we're going to watch a short video of the competition before starting. So with this video, almost exactly 3 months ago, we started our Island Venture, a video that would go through several changes, and also a music that for me personally was sounding in my head for the last 3 months. So as we said, from 100 applications, more than 100 applications, we narrowed it down to 10, 5 per category, and as Laura said, now first up is the category technology applied to sustainability. So without taking more time, which I would like to grant to the startups, first up is Artemis Technologies, a maritime technology from the UK. Then we have Intellect, a smart solutions for cities and communities from Greece, followed by Playtour, gamification and technology in tourism from Argentina. Farmlike, a network of farmers that is directly put in contact with the customer. And then last, SOS Carbon, a technology for Sirgasm, which I'm glad Elena will explain better than I would ever. Okay, so Gail, please go ahead.
Good morning, everyone. I'm absolutely delighted to be here representing Artemis Technologies from the UK. Sorry, we'll just get through to the presentation. Do we have the slides? Do we have the slides? It's always technical problems for the first person up. So you can all head to www.artemistechnologies.co.uk while you're waiting. See a little bit more about our technology. Okay.
left first, and then we'll do you. Okay.
Lovely.
Sorry.
No problem. I'll see you all in a few minutes.
Oh, okay, now. Can I start? Yep. Okay, good morning to everyone. My name is Christos Iachimidis, and I'm the CEO co-founder of Interleague, a company that is based in Athens, Greece since 2018. And I myself have been a professor for 30 years, ex-professor I would rather say, and a research director. What I will present you is CBEMS, as it states, cloud-based building energy management system. So, we know energy, #1 problem globally. I would rather say in Europe or maybe globally. So, energy in buildings, #1 sector that mostly consumes. More than 220 million that are inefficient European Union. And hotel industry is one of the sectors that really needs a lot of automation. It might be in the second phase from the end, but it's in the first one that needs it more. So, at the same time, buildings, they correspond to 36% of CO2 emission. So, building energy management system is an emerging market that is going to 16 billion in 2028. We, as a company, operate in 4 main countries: Greece, Belgium, Luxembourg, and Spain. And the TAM right now is 1.6 billion. So there is an emerging market. Our company is the first one, the first cloud-based one, with artificial intelligence. We do provide a certified, unique Internet of Things platform that recognizes different kinds of devices and protocol. That is why it is unique globally. We have a remote control of multi-zonal HVAC lighting, monitor and control multiple buildings remotely at the same time, by distance, yeah? And of course, we all do that with deep learning, artificial intelligence, machine learning algorithms. What we do get, as it states, since we're talking about wireless sensor network, 25% lower installation, which is very easy. We have an average of 40% of energy savings. This is a huge number. And at the same time, we do provide a real-time CO2 emissions calculator. So, for the climate change, because it corresponds to our tool. At the same time, as it states, 6 different United Nations ESG objectives. That's the background, as you can see. Very detailed, very easy, very straightforward for the user. And this is their competition analysis, what we are better from the competition globally. As I mentioned before, certified, unified Internet of Things platform, use of cloud-based technology, artificial intelligence technique, making possible to have this very high energy savings in a very crucial moment globally. So, this is our business model, B2B and B2G. B2B with the companies, B2G for government, municipalities, and so on. We are a software as a service, but we can provide also at the same time the hardware, depends on the building itself. Okay? If it doesn't have any sensors, we create the wireless sensor network. If it does already have an automation, we can switch it and have our own algorithms, and we can get this very high energy savings. And, well, we also charge based on the fact if we have very large, let's say, contractors, percentage of the energy saving of billing. These are the packages, okay, 4 different ones, depending from the size. Our model is able to be applied in any kind of different size, kind, and complexity of building. So BMS right now, or BEMS that we are having, is not anymore just for large buildings in any kind of industry. It can be for the hotel industry, from the smallest to the larger one, with this kind of energy savings, an average of 40% on HVAC and lighting. So we have been able to do that. 18 months pilots, 7 of them, they became afterwards our clients. We have 3 strategic partners, one in the United States and one in Belgium, Luxembourg area. 85 conversion rates. We have done 30 buildings in 4 different countries, Greece, Belgium, Luxembourg, and Spain, and lately in Poland. And we are managing right now 30,000 square meters of surface area. We are an international team, as it was during my research professorship years. So we are very high expertise. Myself, as I mentioned before, 30 years as an energy modeling, energy system integration. The most of the persons here are people that they have been working with me between 3 to 10 years. So we are very compact, and we have 4 PhDs, as you can see, but it's not just a PhD. We are very, very high expertise on this globally. And of course, we have a very nice team behind us, our mentors. So this is the projection of a deep tech SaaS. You can see it. Right now, we have already fulfilled 2022 and 2023. We have been able to have traction. Just a few days ago, previous week actually, we signed a contract of 1.2 million euros for 20 buildings, 19 schools, 1 sports center, and we had a contract with AT&T to expand to the United States. So these are our sales and how we will progress. And we are looking right now for 900,000. We're in a seed round, okay, to be able to correspond in our growth for this year. And finally, these are collaborations up now with various organizations, companies, research centers, and the companies that we have been, and so on. Thank you very much for your time. Yep.
Hello, everyone. My name is Josefina Rigo. Thank you very much for this opportunity. I'm really glad of being here, representing my whole team, Playtour's team. So thank you very much for the opportunity. Okay, having said that, welcome to Playtour, where the sustainable change begins with a great adventure. Tourism has completely changed. 8 out of 10 current tourists are digital natives. They demand customization, interactivity, sustainability, connectivity, and innovation. In addition, island destinations have specific challenges to face. The need of tourism as a livelihood, climate change and natural disasters, the low level of technological infrastructure, the environmental sustainability, competitions between islands and need of differentiation, social and cultural problems. Our solution thinks in Tourism 4.0, generates great improvements in these 6 aspects, and also have an impact on 4 sustainable development goals. So our value proposition is centered around using peer-to-peer technology to empower tourists to be the key drivers of sustainable change. We create a digital gamified tourism experience that is applied during the tourist journey, that has a technological simulation component, and that generates a sustainable system through the IST or Iceland Sustainability Token. So while the tourists are living a great experience, a new one, we are impacting positively to sustainable future for Iceland communities. Our differential is that we provide the tools for guide and educate the tourists about sustainability in a playful way. Our solution is scalable and modular. Actually, we have 4 models that can be applied together or separately. With the smart impressions, we use gaming to create narratives, build experiences, and motivate the user to take specific actions. We develop smart routes that are created by tourist preferences with geolocalization, big data, and artificial intelligence. With smart tools, we use augmented reality and 3D visualization to create a new experience by combining the virtual world with the real one. And Smart Eye Solutions was created for Iceland destinations, where we use gamification to create a circular economy system based on NFT. So in this way, we are creating a virtuous circle for Iceland destinations, because with the smart route design, we promote all attractions. With gamification, we distribute tourists to unknown places for desmassification. With physical and digital experiences, we promote regional economies, culture, history. And while tourists are doing this experience, they are creating NFTs which enters into a blockchain to generate an Iceland Emergency Economy Fund. This fund is transparent and have traceability and offers tourists an innovative and fun way to contribute to the conservation and preservation of island tourist destinations. So our product has a custom and a standard part. With the custom one, we relive your destination, route, or attraction, and we design and build your experience. With the standard one, we give an intelligent data platform and head maps in real time. So our customers are destination routes, attractions, and tourist guides. Actually, we are working with some attractions in Argentina and with Singapore as a destination. They have a lot of benefits. Some of them are energize and modernize the territory, integrate existing resources, and with the intelligent data platform, they can have knowledge about the tourist characteristics, time, attractions they visit, perception, and satisfaction. So, we are a tourism tech startup based in Argentina. Our purpose is to generate and develop innovative solutions for the evolution of tourism under the 3 pillars of sustainability. This is our team, founder team: Catalina Viaba, tourism specialist; Leandro Baggini, more than 10 years in gamification and tech industries; who's talking to you, Josefina Rigo, neuropsychologist with more than 10 years in entrepreneurship industry; and 20 people in the development area. So, to conclude, we make creative solutions for smart tourism. We know technology is the engine, but creativity is the fuel for the future of industries, especially for tourism. Thank you very much.
Hello, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here and to be able to present Farmlike to you. So while it could be a farmer's burden or a problem for a farmer to live in isolation, It's a problem that worldwide is recognized, but it could be also a consumer, government, or travelers' need to connect with nature or connect with farmers. At the same time, a lot of islands are facing the trouble that they are quite dependent on import. Well, we are more focusing on helping the small farmer and provoking that we can buy local. And at the same time, we see that storytelling is not the biggest strength from the farmers, but at the same time, we see that a lot of farmers, they have a great story to tell, and tourists are quite interested in this story. So we step in here to help them with AI-generated content. At the same time, we see that farmers are moving towards sustainability, and they have a need to move to this direction. And we see that they are struggling in that part because they see that their revenues are shortening. But at the same time, we can help them obtain the carbon credits and reward the consumers for visiting the farmers. So how do you do this? We provided a mobile platform for the farmers to diversify to agritourism and promote the local sales movement, all for a sustainable world. So we do this by connecting the consumers with products from forests, from water and from land, to help farmers with farm diversification in the broadest way. So everything that can happen at the farm, we will help farmers with that step. And how it works, you download the app, you get surprised, you select the products and experiences, and you pick up and enjoy. So the business model is quite straightforward. It's a freemium model. So you can download the app for free. We will charge a small percentage on the bookings. For the tourism boards, we can provide with content, photos, and training and education regarding the setup of putting agritourism in a good position. The same as for the making more in a generative way. We also provide our API, so it can be integrated into other applications that are already existing. At the same time, for a premium account, we can help the farmers with the carbon and water footprint verification and certification, which will be verified in the blockchain. So the value for farmers is quite straightforward, extra revenue streams. We help them with the road to net positive. We help reduce the carbon footprint. We help them with market access, diversification, visibility, social inclusion, and connect with the community. We also organize structural open farm days to have like the farm associations have great visibility and connect them with the farmers. Analytics for consumer behavior, like what is happening, what is the interest from the farmer. So the value for the government, it's creating jobs, growing the local economy, preserving indigenous culture, the road to positive or going beyond sustainability. We co-create together with stakeholders from the tourism and from the agriculture industry, and we are on a purpose to make depopulated and rural areas more attractive. So we do this by measuring the impact. So the farmers that are carbon neutral, carbon positive, we help them obtain these credits, and tourism boards have the possibility to make the events that are happening on the island more, they help them create a more sustainable and of course carbon neutral. So our strengths, we come from a multicultural team from diverse backgrounds in tech and sustainability. We see it's quite a scattered market, but if we connect them all, we can inspire the farmers. So we come also from a background of farming. We grow our own truffles and oranges in the beautiful Valencia. And yeah, if we focus on our tech team, we have UX and gamification experts. We are purpose and impact driven. So we work with several local governments, established partnerships with farm associations in Spain, for example, Asaja. And we work with several universities to help us test our hypothesis. We're also a member of Tech to Impact, Green Tech Alliance, and TTI Impact Group. And we align with several of the Sustainable Development Goals. So to give you an idea of our background, I come more for the tech industry
You have Juan and Anna. Juan Juan and Jeska have like around 10-15 years experience in software development, and Anna, she's a veterinarian, and we have several advisors that support us in tourism, SDG, venture building, and agriculture. So it's a pleasure to be able to present. Together we can make a change. Thank you for your time.
Hi everyone. The Caribbean. What do you think when you hear this word? Probably the first thing that comes to your mind is the image of vast beaches with crystal clear water. An authentic natural paradise. They are so great that they're responsible of a $40 billion tourist industry, with many countries even depend up to 70% only on tourism. But nowadays, both these pristine shores and the economic and touristic benefits they represent are in danger. The reason, Sargasso crisis. Sargasso is a macroalgae that has rapidly spreading through the Caribbean. In the past decades, it has increased drastically due to factors such as ocean pollution and rising sea temperatures. In the last 3 years, the problem has exacerbated. And the outlook for the next years is even worse. Currently, the whole Caribbean is covered by Sargasso, and it's spreading to North and South America. This has widespread in dissatisfaction among tourists who come to the Caribbean expecting these beautiful paradisiacal shores only to find them covered in rotting Sargasso. Sargasso has become an economical, environmental, and social crisis. It has led millionaire economic and tourist losses. Tourist drops between 7 to 35% in the areas affected by Sargasso, and more than 210 million spent in 1 year only on the Caribbean just to clean up the Sargasso. It has also produced the deaths of oceanic species. Only in Mexico, 78 species were reported dead due to these accumulations. It has increased the disease due to toxic gases emitted by rotting Sargasso. And also, it has implied the necessity of restore some areas due to bad Sargasso harvesting technique, which has led in almost $80 million just for restoration. But just as there is a problem, there is a solution. SOS Carbon has created the most cost-effective and sustainable technology to collect its Sargasso on the ocean before it makes landfall, the littoral collection module. The LCM is a hardware that transforms artisanal vessels into high-capacity Sargasso harvesters. Almost 60 tons of Sargasso can be collected per day with just one LCM system. Furthermore, we take advantage of pre-existing infrastructure to maximize the value for the environment and for the local communities, which we also formally employ. SOS Carbon provides a quick, cost-effective, and environmental safe sanitation to restore the natural beauty of the Caribbean. At the same time, we create a value chain around the Sargasso by transforming it into marketable products following the principles of blue and circular economies. Currently, we are developing a biostimulant that can replace the toxic fertilizers we are using on the market and that are one of the biggest causes of ocean pollution. SOS Carbon has created a continuous and adequate Sargasso harvesting, management, and transformation, which has enabled us to differentiate ourselves from other techniques and from other companies. Our main business model is based on providing environmental sanitation to tourist chains and hotel chains through different services. Also, we are spreading through the sale of Sargasso and the transformation to get these value products, which will derive in the production and the selling of carbon credits. Currently, the LCMs are deployed in the Dominican Republic, in Antigua and Barbuda, and in Mexico. Our laboratory center is in Santo Domingo, in the Dominican Republic, and we have been selling Sargasso, raw Sargasso, to different countries such as Australia or Finland. the key in fighting Sargasso crisis is cooperation and collaboration. SOS Carbon has a team of change makers. We are committed to transforming the environmental crisis brought by Sargasso in value chains from a regional to a global impact. My name is Elena Martinez, and I'm the Research and Development Lead. Furthermore, I'm doing a PhD in collaboration with the SOS Carbon and Industria Catholic University of Valencia. Andrés Bisonó is the CEO of the company, and he works jointly with the MIT. And Christopher Walker is the Director of Operations and the person in charge of the SOS brand. But everything we are achieving will not be possible without the people, organizations, and groups that are behind this project, supporting it and believing that change is possible. Our oceans has provided us with everything, from life on Earth to one of the most pleasant ways to enjoy this life. We owe our oceans a debt of gratitude, and now it's time to return the favor. Thank you so much.
Good morning. Do we have the slides this time? Not a second time. Yay! Good morning again. I'm delighted to be here for a second time. I'm Gail Cook. I'm Head of Marketing at Artemis Technologies, and we're based in the UK. Following years of underinvestment in innovation, the global maritime transport sector is now under pressure to develop and adopt disruptive technologies to hit global emission targets. However, due to a lack of viable low or zero emission solutions, most vessels continue to use aging, inefficient and polluting propulsion systems. The latest available electrical and alternative fuel options only provide marginal environmental gains. Over the last 4 years, Artemis Technologies has developed a transformative electrical propulsion system for high-speed vessels. The Artemis e-foiler is based on the integration of a high-powered density electric drivetrain into an autonomously controlled hydrofoil, combining proven technologies from yacht racing, motorsport, and the aerospace industry. The Artemis e-foiler allows vessels to fly over the water, providing up to 90% energy savings compared to modern high-speed displacement vessels through a combination of reduced hydrodynamic drag and greater engine efficiency. The fourth International Maritime Global Greenhouse Gas Study, published in 2020, estimated that 30% of total shipping emissions occur during domestic voyages and therefore fall directly within national government responsibility, twice the magnitude previously estimated. We understand that tourism and maritime activities are the lifeblood for island nations, but this brings with it many problems. What if you could spread the distribution of tourists cost effectively with minimal environmental impact? What if you could make new island connections, opening up new corridors of employment? What if you could reach new places where once inaccessible due to their sensitive marine environment? The electrification of smaller vessels operating in coastal waters has a key part to play in tackling these challenges, and the Artemis e-foiler platform is leading the way in this change. Artemis Technologies was formed in 2017 by Dr. Ian Percy, OBE and double Olympic gold medal winner, as a spin-off from the Artemis Racing America's Cup team. Energized by the fight against climate change, we're on a mission to accelerate the maritime industry's transition to a more sustainable future through the development of innovative green technology and zero-emission vessels. Building on our high-performance background, our versatile and multidisciplinary 100-plus team is committed to delivering excellence across public transport, leisure and tourism, and the maritime industry. Our technology solutions are proudly developed and manufactured in Belfast, Northern Ireland, with global talent. Artemis Technologies is home to the world's most advanced marine simulator, a vital part of our product development and refinement process. It allows us to test our solutions in a realistic environment before we go to the water for testing. This eliminates waste and enables lower cost routes to market with no compromise on quality. The Artemis e-foiler is a game changer for the decarbonisation of high-speed maritime transport applications and provides a range of benefits for both operators and passengers across many sectors. These operational benefits include minimal wake, creating and enabling high-speed operation in busy waterways, reducing journey time, a comfortable ride for passengers and crews, mitigating the effects of motion sickness, and the platform enables commercially viable range for high-speed electric vessels, such as connecting island destinations. The environmental benefits are the electric propulsion means the vessel creates no air, water, or noise pollution at the point of use, while the e-foiling technology avoids boat-induced wake damage to exposed intertidal reef structures. Efficiency of the Artemis e-foiler system means it uses far less energy than conventional craft and emits zero greenhouse gases. The Artemis e-foiler platforms provide significant OPEX savings, including up to 90% fuel savings and lower servicing costs. And in comparison to a traditional vessel, it will save up to £20 million in savings. And we also have ultra-fast charging to go along with the system as well, which is easy to employ in new or existing infrastructure. The Artemis e-foiler is helping to connect communities, facilitate change, and open new opportunities, protecting livelihoods, communities, and the environment. We're proud to be leading the way in maritime decarbonisation. We are Artemis Technologies. Thank you.
Thank you very much to all these candidates and good luck. It's been amazing, all these innovative solutions. It came to my mind that, well, in fact, Ireland and UK, the United Kingdom, they are islands too. Big islands, but islands definitely. Well, we have now time for a short coffee break, just 10 minutes. So let's see in 10 minutes back here on stage. Thank you very much, everyone.
See